What if I told you that one of the most criminally underrated anime of 2026 just dropped a brand new trailer, and it's carrying so much heat that even demon cats from the Heian period would stop what they're doing to watch it? Yeah, we're talking about MAO. The anime you slept on. The anime your algorithm forgot to tell you about. The anime that is quietly, patiently, and absolutely brilliantly building into something legendary, and Cour 2 is about to change everything. Welcome back to Anime's Update. I'm your host, and today we are going all in on the MAO anime Cour 2 trailer, the brand new opening and ending theme songs, what they mean, what to expect, and why if you haven't started watching this show, yet you are genuinely missing out on one of Rumiko Takahashi's greatest works. And yes, I said what I said. Stay with me, because this is going to be a good one. But before we dive into the chaos, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and smash the notification bell so you never miss a drop. We cover anime news fast, we cover it right, and we always bring the energy. You don't want to be the last one to know. Now let's go. All right, let's set the stage. Because before we talk about what's coming in Cour 2, we need to make sure everyone in the room understands exactly what kind of anime MAO is. And I promise you, this is not your average seasonal anime. This is Rumiko Takahashi we're talking about. The woman behind Inuyasha. The woman behind Ranma 1/2. The woman behind Urusei Yatsura. The queen of Shonen Sunday. The legend who has been making anime fans lose their minds since before some of you were born. And MAO is her latest manga, which began serialization way back in May 2019 in Shagakukan's Weekly Shonen Sunday. After years of fans begging, wishing, and manifesting, the anime adaptation finally arrived in spring 2026, produced by none other than Sunrise, the same legendary studio behind the original Inuyasha anime. It's a full 2-cour continuous run, meaning no breaks, no splitting it into 2 seasons with a 2-year gap in between. Just clean, consistent storytelling. 26 episodes. Back to back. No excuses. And already just from the first 13 episodes of Cour 1, MAO has proven it deserves to be in the conversation with the best anime of this year. Darker in tone than Inuyasha. More grounded. More mysterious. More gritty. Where Inuyasha felt like a folkloric fairy tale, MAO feels like a ghost story you're not supposed to tell in the dark. And trust me, that is absolutely a compliment. So what's the story? Let me break this down, because the plot of MAO is genuinely fascinating and it's worth understanding before Cour 2 kicks off. Our main character is Nanoka Kiba. She's a high school student in modern-day Japan who, 8 years ago, survived a mysterious accident at a shopping center, an accident that claimed the lives of her parents. She always thought what she saw in the wreckage was just a trauma-induced illusion. Spoiler, it wasn't. One day, Nanoka passes through a strange portal in an abandoned shopping district, and she gets transported, like, full-on launched into Japan's Taisho era. And if you're not sure when that was, think early 20th century Japan. Steam engines, kimonos, gas lamps, and also apparently an absurd amount of demons. Because that's where she meets MAO, our titular protagonist, a cold, reluctant, impossibly skilled exorcist who has been walking this earth for over 900 years. Yeah, 900 years. The man makes immortal anime characters look like amateurs. And here's where the lore gets deliciously complicated. MAO's immortality is not a gift. It's a curse. Centuries ago, he was a disciple of the Gokko clan, an elite school of Onmyoji, which are basically Japan's supernatural mystics and exorcists. The clan was massacred by Byaoki, a terrifying 7-tailed cat demon, and MAO survived but not cleanly. The Byaoki's curse latched onto him, made him immortal, and corrupted his sacred sword Higunsei, turning it into a cursed demon blade that will doom anyone who tries to wield it in his place. MAO has spent 9 centuries hunting this demon to break the curse. 9 centuries. That is commitment on a level that would make even the most dedicated anime protagonist tap out. But then, and this is the juicy part, Nanoka shows up. And it turns out that Nanoka's survival from that childhood accident was no coincidence. She too was touched by Byaoki's curse. She has supernatural powers she's only just beginning to understand. She can wield MAO's cursed sword without dying. And the two of them, these 2 cursed individuals from completely different time periods, are bound together by fate, by blood, and by a mystery that spans nearly a millennium. That is the kind of storytelling that makes you sit down and not get up for 6 hours straight. And just when you think the core premise alone is enough, Takahashi does what she always does. She layers it. She peels the story back like an onion, revealing betrayal, ancient love triangles, rival onmyoji with their own agendas, elemental magic users who've been playing the long game for centuries, and a cat demon that seems to be everywhere and nowhere all at once. In classic Takahashi fashion, there's even a deeply complicated love situation brewing. In the Heian era long before the Taisho timeline, MAO and a fellow disciple named Hayaka were both in love with Sana, the daughter of their master. MAO was even named the clan's successor and betrothed to her. But Sana was secretly in love with a third student, Daigo, and they were planning to escape together, a plan that ended in tragedy when Byaoki attacked. Now, in the Taisho era, a woman named Yurako appears bearing Sana's face, and the plot thickens in ways that will make your jaw drop. Meanwhile, Nanoka is falling for MAO, and MAO is still haunted by his past. And Hayaka is lurking around with his own complicated feelings. It's a love situation that Takahashi fans will recognize immediately. It's messy, it's emotionally charged, and it's absolutely riveting. If Inuyasha's Kagome Kikyo love triangle had you in a chokehold back in the day, MAO's version is going to do the same thing to you, except with more cat demons and 1,000 more years of emotional baggage. Now, let's talk about what everyone is here for today. The Cour 2 trailer. Because this is fresh. This just dropped. And Sunrise did not come to play. The official website for the MAO anime released a brand new promotional video for the second Cour, and it is serving exactly what we needed. More of Nanoka and MAO pushing deeper into the mystery of Byaoki. The animation from Sunrise continues to look clean and atmospheric, that beautiful clash of early 20th century Japanese aesthetics, kimonos meeting cobblestone streets, steam rising in the background while demons lurk in the foreground. It's visually distinct. It has a personality. And the new trailer is doubling down on the stakes, teasing conflicts that go beyond just episodic supernatural cases and into the full meat of the overarching storyline. The tension between MAO and the surviving onmyoji of the Goko clan, Nanoka's continued growth as she trains to harness her earth-based powers, and the ever-looming shadow of Byaoki, it's all there in the trailer, and it looks incredible. Cour 2 begins with episode 14, kicking off on July 4th. That's right, MAO is back on July 4th. While some people are watching fireworks, you'll be watching demons get exorcised. And honestly, better trade. But wait, we're not done. Because alongside the new trailer, the production team dropped something that anime fans always go absolutely feral over: the new theme songs. And these choices. Chef's kiss. Let's start with the new opening theme. It's called Bokura Jie Wawagaki Suru Sekai, which translates to the world we overwrite, and it's performed by 20th Century. Now, for those of you who don't know, 20th Century is a subunit of the legendary Japanese idol group V6, one of the most iconic acts in Japanese pop music history. And this choice is not random. There's a beautiful poetic symmetry here. V6 performed the original Inuyasha opening theme, Change the World, back in the early 2000s. So having 20th Century members of that same group perform the MAO Cour 2 opening is a nod to that legacy that longtime Takahashi fans are going to absolutely lose it over. It's not just a song choice. It's a statement. It's Sunrise and the MAO production saying this show belongs in the same conversation as the classics. The world we overwrite. Think about that title for a second in the context of this story. Two people cursed by the same demon. A man who has lived for 9 centuries, bound to a past that never let him go. A girl trying to understand a present shaped by forces she never asked for. And together, they're trying to overwrite the story that fate wrote for them. That's not just a cool song title. That's the entire theme of MAO distilled into 5 words. Incredible. And then we have the new ending theme. It's called Tayudo, which translates to swaying or wavering, and it's performed by Reina Ueda. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Reina Ueda is not just a singer. She's a voice actress. And she's in the MAO anime itself, voicing the character Yurako, the woman in the Taisho era who shares the face of MAO's long-dead love Sana. So the woman who plays one of the most emotionally pivotal characters in the entire story is also performing the ending theme. That is layers. That is narrative craftsmanship. When you watch episode 13 end and Reina Ueda's voice comes floating in over the credits, knowing she's the one voicing the character at the center of MAO's centuries-long grief, that's going to hit differently. And in Cour 2, it's going to hit even harder. Tayudo. Swaying. Wavering. There's something deeply melancholic and beautiful about that title. Because that's exactly what these characters do. They sway between past and present, between who they were and who they're becoming, between love and duty, between revenge and healing. It captures the emotional texture of MAO in a single word, and I have a feeling that ending theme is going to be the one you play on repeat at 2 a.m. while staring at the ceiling. Now let me give you a quick rundown of the full cast and crew, because this production is stacked. Teruo Sato is directing. He also directed Yashaheim, Princess Half-Demon Season 1, so he knows this world intimately. Series composition is handled by Yuko Kakihara, who you might know from Blue Box, a very different genre, but a testament to her versatility as a writer. Character design and chief animation direction falls to Yoshihito Hishinuma, who actually worked on the original Inuyasha as an animation character designer. So this is a team with genuine roots in Takahashi's world. This isn't a production that's just paying rent on a franchise name. These are people who love this material and understand it. Voicing our lead MAO is Yuki Kaji, one of the biggest names in anime voice acting, known for Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan, Todoroki in My Hero Academia, and dozens of other iconic roles. Playing Nanoka is Natsumi Koeda. Hiro Shimano brings Hayaka to life, and Toshiyuki Toyonaga voices Kamen. And as we mentioned, Reina Ueda pulls double duty as Yurako and the Cour 2 ending theme artist. The talent assembled for this show is not a coincidence. This is a prestige production. And speaking of where to watch if you're in the US, MAO is streaming on Hulu, with new episodes dropping every Saturday at 2:15 p.m. Pacific. If you're in Canada, Latin America, Australia, or New Zealand, you can catch it on Disney+. Prime Video and Aichi are also carrying the anime in select regions. So there is genuinely no excuse not to be watching this show. Let's zoom out for a second, because I want to give you the big picture context here, because MAO doesn't exist in a vacuum. This is the latest entry in a catalog of Rumiko Takahashi works that have defined generations of anime fans. Urusei Yatsura, Maison Ikkoku, Ranma 1/2, Inuyasha, Rinne. These are not just popular anime. These are cultural touchstones. Inuyasha alone introduced millions of Western viewers to the concept of historical fantasy anime. It's one of the shows that made people fall in love with the medium in the first place. And MAO? MAO feels like Takahashi returning to the thing she does best, the supernatural historical adventure, but with decades more craft and experience behind it. Where Inuyasha was broad and epic and emotionally loud, MAO is quieter, more introspective, more detective-minded. It's not just go fight the demon of the week. It's investigate the supernatural incident, gather the clues, peel back the layers, and slowly uncover a truth that's been buried for 900 years. It's the difference between a blockbuster action film and a prestige slow-burn thriller. Both are great, but the slow burn hits different when the tension finally breaks. And that's exactly what Cour 2 is positioned to deliver. The first 13 episodes built the foundation. They introduced the world, the rules, the characters, the mysteries. They showed you the surface of the water and gave you just enough glimpses of what lurks beneath to keep you hooked. Cour 2 is where we go under, where the gloves come off, where the connections between the past and the present start snapping together in ways you didn't see coming. And look, I want to be honest with you here for a second, because I think this show deserves that. MAO has been flying under the radar. In a season stuffed with heavy hitters and returning favorites, it's the show that didn't generate the most memes or the most Twitter discourse or the most clip compilations. But that's almost always the case with the shows that are actually built to last. The ones that reward patience. The ones that trust their audience enough to take their time. MAO is that show. And the reviews from people who've actually been watching it back this up episode by episode. It's been delivering. The atmosphere is haunting. The mystery is layered. The character work is deliberate and rich. The animation holds up. And Sunrise, when they're on their game, is one of the best studios in the business. So if you've been sleeping on this one, and statistically, a lot of you have considered this your wake-up call. You have from now until July 4th to catch up on the first 13 episodes. That's 2 weeks. That's absolutely doable. And I promise you, by the time you hit episode 13 and the Cour 2 trailer plays in your head, and you realize you're watching something genuinely special, you're going to come back here and thank me. And I'll accept all the comments. Now let's talk about what Cour 2 specifically needs to deliver on, because the expectations are real. From what the trailer is teasing, we're heading into deeper territory with the Goko clan conflict. The surviving Onmyoji from Mao's past Hayaka, Kamen, The water elemental users tied to the tragedy of the old clan, they're not just side characters. They're essential pieces of a puzzle that's been building since the Heian era. The question of who truly orchestrated the massacre. The truth about Sana and Yurako. Nanoka's continued training in earth-based onmyoji techniques under Natsuna. And always the hunt for Byaoki, the seven-tailed cat demon that started all of this. Because here's the thing about Byaoki that makes the storytelling so compelling. This demon is not your typical anime villain. It's not monologuing on a mountain somewhere, waiting to be fought. It's a corrupting force. A shadow. A curse that has spread across centuries and touched almost every character in the story in one way or another. Even Sana's beloved pet cat from the Heian era, a cat named Heimaru, eventually became Byaoki. Think about that. The demon that destroyed everything MAO loved was once a pet cat. The intimacy of that betrayal, across 900 years of history, is what gives MAO its emotional core. It's not just action and mystery. It's grief. It's loss. It's the question of whether you can ever truly escape your past, or whether the only way forward is to turn around and face it. That's the story Cour 2 is going to tell. And with the world we overwrite as its opening battle cry and swaying, as its emotional heartbeat, the stage is set for something memorable. All right, we are coming in for a landing. Before I let you go, let me give you the quick facts recap, because I know some of you are going to screenshot this. MAO Cour 2 begins July 4th with episode 14. The new opening theme is Bokura Jie Wawagaki Suru Sekai. The World We Overwrite, performed by 20th Century, the iconic V6 subunit. The new ending theme is Tayudo, Swaying, performed by Reina Ueda, who also voices Yurako in the anime. The show is streaming on Hulu in the US and Disney Plus in several other regions. The manga, written by Rumiko Takahashi, currently sits at 29 volumes and is published in English by Viz Media. Animation is by Sunrise. Director is Teru Osato. And the whole thing is beautiful, mysterious, emotionally rich, and criminally underrated. If you've been watching since episode 1, you already know what this show is capable of. Drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the new trailer, the theme song choices, your theories for Cour 2. I want to hear from you. What are you most excited to see? Byaoki's next move? Nanoka's training arc? MAO finally starting to reckon with his feelings? Sound off. And if you're new to this channel, this is what we do. We bring you the anime news that matters, with the energy it deserves. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button, smash the bell, and come back every time we post, because the anime world does not slow down and neither do we. Thank you so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate every single one of you. See you in the next one.